Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and this is the encouraging word for today. Satan opposes God, and Satan opposes God's will for your life. God has a purpose for your life. God has a plan for your life. And as the Bible tells us repeatedly, God's plans are good, not for evil. They're to prosper you, give you hope and a future. But Satan does not want that to happen. So he opposes God's plans for you, and he uses people against us. Now, that doesn't mean that people are demon possessed. That doesn't mean that people are tools of God, but he uses them unknowingly. They don't even realize it, but maybe they're broken people. They're people that they don't understand the effect their words or actions have on other people, people who are not following God, people who don't have the same faith, the same call from God for you and don't understand, or maybe people who are jealous. It comes in the form of people saying, you can't do this. It's not going to work. You're not smart enough. You're not strong enough. You don't have what it takes to do this. And even, they can put it in religious terms, this is not God's will for you. And as I'm saying this right now, some of you have tapes of things people have said still running in your mind. Maybe a parent which said, you'll never amount to anything. And that keeps coming back. Or a teacher, like a teacher who told me I can't learn foreign languages. And I failed, of course. Or another person, even your spouse, discouraging you instead of encouraging you. And many times when that happens, we will not do what God calls us to do. David faced exactly that opposition. There was a situation where this army of Philistines was against the people of Israel. And they had a champion named Goliath, a huge fighting man with a lot of experience. And everybody was afraid of him on the side of Israel. But David, God had called David. God had prepared David. God had stirred his heart. So David went to the battle lines and offered himself to King Saul. And listen to the first thing that happened. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 32 and 33. David said to Saul, let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him. Saul replied, you are not able to go out against this Philistine and fight him. You are only a young man, and he has been a warrior from his youth. Do you see how Satan is using Saul? Saul doesn't see what God sees in David. Saul doesn't see his heart. Saul just sees the external in David. Saul starts by saying, you can't. You can't. He doesn't have the faith that David has, so he's projecting his own faith onto David. Listen, never let someone else project their lack of faith onto you. God spoke to you, it will happen. Saul projects his own fear onto David, his own insecurities onto David, and even, I believe, his jealousy onto David. Later on, that jealousy blooms, but there's a seed of it here. You can't. I'm the king. You can't. There's jealousy there. And people will do the same thing to you. Satan will use them in your life. Let God determine what you can do and what you cannot do. Listen to him alone. Don't let someone else's limitations, fears control you. David didn't listen to that voice. And tomorrow we will see how David responded. And the message tomorrow, the devotional tomorrow, is remember how you began. And we'll be live on Facebook at 7:15 a.m. So I'll see you then, and go with your faith, not someone else's lack of faith. Take care.